My name is Antia. I am a student of the second years of Bachillerato at the IES Campo de San Alberto in Noia. This is Vicente Lopez, our English teacher. Hello, Vicente. Thanks for the interview. What's more important when you are teaching a foreign language education learn or teaching method? Why?
Well, I think it is a combination of both things, right? Teaching methods are usually based on education laws, and somehow teachers are supposed to follow what the authorities tell them to do concerning education, right? So, if the education laws are not properly based, then teachers tend to follow the wrong methods, right? Some teachers don't, because they are quite independent and they separate themselves from, let's say, their standard education laws, right? But most of the times, most teachers just follow the rules, and if the education laws are not properly focused, what happens is that the teacher, at the same time, right, use the wrong teaching strategies in the class, and that is reflected upon what the students learn and what they feel about a certain way of educating them, right? So if we want to change teaching methods concerning English language, right, and if we want to change the way that English is learned, right, and spoken by students, we should focus first on trying to tackle the issue of the education laws and try to change them to make them better.
After 10 years learning English, why is speaking it so difficult for us?
Well, I think that's a simple question, right? Speaking English for Spanish students is difficult because we don't actually learn to speak the language. What happens is that students learn to read English, they learn to write English, and most of the teaching methods are based on writing and based on grammar, right? So it's something that goes a little bit against nature, right? When you learn a language, when you learn your own mother tongue, right, what you do is that you learn first to speak, right? And once you learn to speak and that you speak fluently when you are, say, 3 or 4 years old, then you go to school and then you go to learn how to read and write. That is the usual process in learning your own mother tongue, right? Whereas what happens when we're dealing with teaching English lessons is the other way around, right? Students learn first the grammar, the vocabulary, learn to read and write, but they don't learn to speak. So why don't students learn to speak? Because they don't actually speak the language, right? We don't focus our lessons on speaking skills, we don't focus our lessons on listening skills. So a student has been studying English for 12, 13, 14 years, and when they get to 18, they realize that they are not able to understand simple questions in English or to make any kind of statement in English or speak English fluently, right? And I think that is frustrating both for the teachers and the students and society in general as well.
Okay. Many other countries don't have this problem. Why?
Well, they don't have this problem, especially in northern countries, because they do have very different teaching methods, right? For instance, in countries like Sweden and Norway and Finland, right, in the north, or even Portugal, right, our neighbors, they start by not dubbing foreign films. That is, when you watch a movie on television, right, or when you watch something that it is in English, right, it is not dubbed, so you have to listen to the movie in English, and then they usually read the subtitles, right? So kids from a very young age, when they watch Disney movies and so on, right, they listen to the movies in English, right, and they read the subtitles in English, right? So when they get to 13, 14, 15, they're used to the sounds, they're used to the language, and it's easier for them to speak it, right? And at the same time, there's a lot of student exchanges, right, in other countries, right? And they're more used to, say, traveling abroad and staying in English-speaking countries where we're not doing it the way we should do here in Spain. Things have started to change, little by little, step by step, but we're not there yet. Right? We're far from getting there.
What's wrong with foreign language teaching in this country?
Well, to me, it's certainly my opinion, but to me, it's the method. We're using the wrong method, right? We're teaching English. It's changed a little bit in the last few years, but we're teaching English as if it were Latin or Greek, right? Telling the students to learn huge lists of vocabulary, to learn grammar, right? Transformations, translate into Spanish or Galician, right? And they are learning a language the way they are learning Latin or Greek, right? And teaching English, to me, should be mainly focused on communication, on speaking, and we're not doing that, right? So what happened is that if we don't change the principle, the way that we teach the language, that is going to continue for a long time. And on the other hand, I think that phonetics are also a key factor, right, to learning a language. What is very difficult for Spanish students or Italian students, say Latin country students, is learning how to pronounce the language, because the language is pronounced very differently, right? So we should start our teaching by using phonetics and getting students to understand the different sounds of the English language and being able to pronounce them, learn how to pronounce them, and getting accustomed to the sound and the pronunciation. If we do that, and they know their phonetics, then it's easier for them to start speaking, right? And once they know how to speak and understand, right, what they're being taught to, then I think that it'll be much easier for them to learn to read and to learn to write. But that, to me, it's a secondary step, right? Something that should be done after someone has learned how to speak and how to learn, I think.
How can we fix it?
We have to radically, I think, we have to radically change the method, right? We need foreign assistants, right? We need people whose mother tongue is English, right? Native speakers of the language, to have a support in conversation lessons, right? Kids should go to England or any English-speaking country at least once a year, and English should be learned not as a important subject, inverted commas, right? Like they learn history or they learn mathematics or physics. More like an extra activity, right? Something that they learn because they feel that is something useful for their future, right? And something that is useful to communicate and to travel to other countries and to be able to speak the language, right? But as something that they enjoy without the pressure of the marks, right? And without the pressure of the exams, especially written exams, right? So I think that basically the method is absolutely wrong, right? We've just followed the method that Spain used to have when French was the main foreign language, right? And what they did with English is just following that method, which is, I think, it is a mistake. It is the wrong way.